Hello and welcome. This is Story Impact, and I'm your host, Lisa Tolles. I started this series because helping and supporting authors and their stories is my passion and my calling. This series introduces you to amazing visionaries and storytellers who share details of their writing journey, their challenges, and how they're differentiating themselves in a very crowded marketplace. But most importantly, these conversations are about the meaning that these stories bring to the authors and their readers. I'm also a crime novelist, and you can find my books on Amazon. And to learn more, go to lisatolles.com. All right, so today I'm super excited to welcome Wilnona Marie and Jade Dee, otherwise known in the publishing and media industry as the And I Thought ladies. I'm going to tell you a little bit about them, and then I'll introduce them. The ladies are the founders of the Inspirational Women in Literature, Media, and Journalism Awards, the Literary Ladies Entertainment Magazine, the stars of the reality show about authors Just Right in Life, founders of the Author Reality Show, and the 25 Hottest Authors Magazine. Whew. Jade Dee is the 2019 Advocate Poet of the Year, and Wilnona Marie is the Advocate Awarded. They're the 18th most interviewed authors in the world, and this dynamic duo has written 18 books, including 2 series, the And I Thought series and the Misfit Guides. Wilnona pens the Widow's debut series Solo, and their latest poem is a murder mystery written in various forms of poetic verse. Wow, so excited to dig in here. Ladies, thank you for joining today and warmest welcome.
Lisa, thank you for having us on. It's kind of really amazing for me, this is Jade, to be able to meet you in virtual person.
It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm Wilnona.
Thank you, guys. All right, so let's dive in so viewers can get to know you a bit. And I'm going to ask a few questions, and whoever wants to take the questions, I'll leave that up to you guys. So when I look at your incredibly successful partnership, I'm curious how you two met. Someone tell me like a quick 1-minute story of how you two met. I know you could probably talk an hour about this, but ready, go.
I will do it. This is Jade. I'm going to do it. Here it goes. Well, we're just best friends for forever, like in a day, and pretty much we were born and we were friends.
Yep, that's how I explain it.
So we just that's how we just explain it.
She was born, I became a best friend.
Yeah, that's how we say it.
Okay, that's quick and dirty. I love it. What did you do in your early life that prepared you for your author's journey?
I'm taking this one. I'm Wilnona, and I got published at the age of 10, and I got my first check for being published at the age of 10. I started the Widow's Debt series, or the Widow's Debut series, at the age of 12. By the age of 12 and a half, I had a regular income from writing from that.
Wow.
Okay, so I just remembered why she started the Widow's Web series, the Widow's Debt debut series, was because my parents had grounded me and I couldn't watch TV. And so she made up the story for me, and she would come over and read it to me. Like, I wasn't grounded, I couldn't see my friends, I just couldn't watch television.
Oh, okay. Oh my God.
She would write this story during the day in school, apparently, and then just come over and read it to me.
And then Jade joined because of me.
She dragged me kicking and screaming.
I was going to write one book and then be done. And she was like, if you're going to do that, make sure it's poetry. I hated the idea of it. But then I was like, if I have to write, then you have to write. And I'm still a little annoyed.
Because I won. I won. The poetry book is what made the brand. And so let's be clear. If you ever do something with your best friend and you disagree with them, but you go along with them anyway and they win, they get to tell it.
Well over 2,000 and sometimes.
Yeah, we're like 18th most interviewed authors in the world, and I've got to tell that story in each and every interview.
Oh my God, hilarious. All right, you guys have 18 books in print. First of all, wow. But you're also world-renowned producers and facilitators. So which of those activities or careers are you most drawn to? Producing work that showcases other authors or writing your own stories?
Excuse me again. I don't know what is going on with me. My allergies.
I like producing work that highlights other authors a little more than writing. I used to love writing more, but yeah, I like that more because it's easy. You organize it, you do the steps, and it's done. With writing, you know, your characters take you on wild and crazy rides and you have to go with them. And it's a lot of time dedicated to it.
Well, and it's different talents too, right? I mean, you guys are like super like marketing geniuses. I mean, like, and marketing and promotion and connecting with an audience and readership, that's one set of skills, but like making up stuff, like create energy is totally different, right?
It is a different kind of journey, but it's also the using that, excuse me, my allergies are just coming out today. Like, they're
Bless
just like,
you.
hello, I
Oh.
want to live here. It's also, though, using that creativity to uplift other people. It's really fun. Like, we really get a kick out of that. How can we market this for other people, and how can they benefit from this?
Mm-hmm. What types of books do you guys like to read, and how does reading inform your work as authors, poets, and creative producers?
So the books that I like to read, I love reading Camilla Monk's, which is a romance suspense, and cozy. And Jade, you're on a kick right now, and you're reading what?
Oh, I'm reading business books.
Oh, and we have to say, we
Well, actually, I'm listening.
love
Alexander
Xander C. Kane. And we're currently reading his new book.
Well,
It's so
I'm
good.
listening to his new book. I'm not reading it. I really do enjoy audio books. I really do enjoy it. So that's how I get to do all, like, read and still be able to get my work done.
Okay. So let's step back from writing and creating, and let's talk about all of the stuff happening in the publishing industry. What challenges do you see in the publishing industry right now? And then what's an opportunity that you see in the publishing industry that you think other novice writers or beginning writers starting their journey should be leveraging more? I'd love to hear your reflections on this.
The publishing industry has changed. As I said, I was around when I was 10 and 12 years old, and it was really hard. It was gatekeepers for sure. So it's definitely a lot. It's much improved, I guess I'm gonna say, because it's easier to make a living and a niche for yourself, especially in poetry, which was not able to be done before. What I wish people knew, which is what I learned in Frankfurt, there is so much money in rights. There's so much money in rights. So, like, I was talking to people before, and they were like, for how our books are written and with the presence that we have, we could sell our rights at a minimum of $3,000 a book per country. Yeah, there was over 100 in some countries there.
And so we didn't know all of that, right? So I think what I would say is the world of publishing is changing, but also there's a lot to learn about the business of publishing. Like, what are rights? And then who's like, what am I selling when I sell my rights? Am I selling rights to the audio section also? Or am I selling like, so there's so much to learn, and I would just encourage people to keep learning. But market yourself. That's what I think people can do now. Because numbers tell a story. And that's a story that a lot of publishers like to see, or so.
And I think it's very important to remember that best-selling authors there's not a best written book list except for awards. There's not the New York Times best written book. It's the New York Times best-selling book. And in order to get anything sold, in order to start a company, you have to market. So a lot of times the books you're seeing there are not the best written books. They're the best marketed books. And I remember telling a writing class that. They're like, how do I get on the list? And I was like, market.
Right. Yes. Keep doing it.
So I'd like to ask this question to each of you. What would you tell a novice writer if they've just published their first book and they think, oh my God, I don't know what to do now. I don't know anything about marketing. I don't care about marketing. Why do I have to do that? What would you say?
Start a show.
Yeah, dude, start a show. But if you don't care about marketing, you don't know anything about marketing, and you don't know why you should market, think about soda, right? We all know what's bad for us. We all know all these things, but soda sells so much. Why? You see it everywhere. It's on billboards, it's in your your magazines is it's going to flash up doing your for your YouTube. Like soda is everywhere. And just think about people saying, "Oh, TikTok made me buy this." Why?
Right.
Marketing. They kept seeing it and seeing it and seeing it and seeing it, and then they said, "I, you know what? What is it, like $10, whatever? I'll try it." That is why it's super important for you to market. No one knows who you are. You're a novice. Like, who is this person?
Yeah. Interesting. One more question, and then I want to talk about really the whole purpose of this series, impact, meaning, and purpose. What I wanted to ask you is, what is the hardest thing about creating new work, whether you're writing a story or writing a poem or just that kind of create energy, not the marketing, not the kind of networking, that's just a different intellectual process, but just the raw creating. What's the hardest part of it for you?
For me, it's you have to pull it out the thin air, right? It didn't exist, and you are the vessel that makes it exist.
Not a darn thing.
Well, Wilnona is a writer, y'all.
So we're writing a new book, and it's one of the reasons that we decided to run away real quick and take a few meetings and then come and we're at this hotel. And the problem is that the first 2 copies somehow got lost and never came back on my computer.
Oh, no. Oh,
So
my
I'm writing the
goodness.
book for the 3rd time, and I started yesterday. I'm halfway done.
We're halfway done. Like I had notes though. Like mainly we write together. We sit down and just hammer it out because time it does not make itself.
Creation for helping other authors, it's getting the 6 steps, because I always say let's make it manageable. So the moment I have the 6 steps that are going to be like the main steps from beginning to completion, and I know it fits in my budget, then it's done. It's over.
What's your new
time or money?
What's your new book about?
Our
Or
new book.
Or is that classified information?
It is classified information, but I think that the title, we haven't really hammered down the title
yet.
And I mean, we have like a couple out here, but I think it's going to be, what is it going to be, Wilnona?
I don't remember.
You don't remember what it's going to be. You see, y'all, it's still a work in progress.
It's secret, and I think it's good to kind of protect that early work. So that's okay, but I'm excited to hear more about it. You guys are amazing. All right, so 2 more questions. What is your overall purpose as a writer? And I want to hear from each of you on this. And what meaning do you hope your books bring to your readers?
I'd love to answer the second question first because, hey, it's me. I'm going to do things a little backwards. So I remember when I heard the question, I immediately thought, like, I don't have to guess what meaning it has to my writers. We wrote our readers. We wrote our first book about domestic violence and surviving it, and then about just like life in general, like as a woman. And the people who hear the poetry, they walk up and they tell us, I wish this book was around for my grandmother or my mother because they were in an emotionally abusive relationship. I believe the saddest story I ever heard was at a bar. We were on tour, and the lady came over and was like, I like your book. I wish it were a lot around because see, her mother had got beaten to death. And she had ran out the house while she was getting beaten. And then she called the cops. And when the ambulance came, it was the last time she ever saw her mom. And they put
the white sheet.
Put the white sheet over her.
Wow.
And she was just like, this book means so much to so many women out there.
Wow. Talk about purpose.
Yeah, pretty much.
So my purpose is to make sure that people are able to identify and escape abusive relationships.
At the beginning. No, with the emotional abuse when it starts there. I think that my purpose is actually I got to write it in a book title that we have, and I thought I did my journey alone, right? To let people know that things are happening to a lot of people. You're not the only one. You are not alone, and it's okay to say like this happened to me, or my mom died, or I'm upset about this. You're not alone. there are so many people out here experiencing the same thing. And sometimes if you lend your voice to it, then somebody else can absolutely feel free to talk about it.
Sometimes it's the words when there's so much trauma. And we both hope that we give people the ability to borrow those words until they become their own.
I think that's fantastic. I think a lot of people are afraid to talk about trauma because they feel like they might be diminished, they might be ignored, they might be scorned, they might be blamed, and seeing someone else's courage probably makes people often feel like, well, if this person can talk about it, maybe I can talk about it. So bravo to you guys. Love that answer. What book would you like to promote to our watchers today?
Well, it would be And I Thought I Knew You. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it because I literally had to, nope, that's not working.
There we go.
It's kind of sort of working.
It's called And I Thought I Knew You. Okay.
Yeah, And I Thought I Knew You. And this is the murder mystery poetry book.
This was so fun. So we
fun.
literally, in order to do this, I had to learn a whole new way of writing because I write mystery and then I love writing. I naturally write poetry. So learning how to do like the poetry and then like recognizing that in order to set up a scene, you can normally just write a paragraph in a novel. But in order to do that, it literally would take a minimum of 3 poems. The poem of the scene, the poem of what was going on, and then the poem introducing the people, and the last poem could put everything together.
It was really, it was very cool planning out this book and being like, okay, because these are the plot points that we're trying to make. And then trying to do it in poetry was interesting, but someone said it couldn't be done. And we said, oh, we take that challenge.
So, and it was also fun. It was the most fun I've ever had making characters because they didn't have names. Because if you had names, then hard to like keep the poems rolling and keep the rhythm going. So the murder is actually named If I May Say So.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of like you get the perspective. You don't know who it is. Like, so there's little creative tales, like you'll learn like one creative tale, one creative thing about her, that how she dresses, and then another about how she dresses, but the same thing keeps showing up. Like,
or the other person, you'll just see all these different things. And it was really interesting. We sent it out for beta reading. Everyone was like, okay, I think this person, and we're like, oh, that's not person. But it's a series, so probably 2024 there will be another. Well, there will be another one.
All right, I'm gonna have to read that. I mean, just the idea of a murder mystery that's a poem, that's reason enough to buy it. I want to see how you handled that and tackled that. That's amazing.
Yes, and it will be coming on
as an audiobook soon.
Oh, great. Okay, so this is out now. It's out now, right? I think
the book is out now.
The book is out now. Yeah, so the book is out now. I saw it on Amazon. Okay, so where can people learn more about you? What is your website?
Well, you can find out everything your ladies are doing on www.andithoughladies.com.
Okay, excellent.
You tell I have a show, right?
You guys are great. Thank you so much for joining. And again, this is Story Impact, a YouTube series intended to showcase authors, their writing journey, the unique perspectives that drive the creation of their books and their poetry and all the wonderful things they're doing in the world. Wilnona, Jade, thank you so much for joining us. Happy holidays, everyone, and thanks for watching.
Thank you for having us on. Bye.
Thank you.